Hey guys, so bringing you another video. Now, welcome to not patch notes. So, bit of an ordeal that's happened. If you watch most of my videos, firstly, thank you. But obviously, tonight should be patch note videos. I've waited to be recording them, and yeah, there's no patch note. So, I guess I made a mistake, or not a mistake, but I didn't realize there will be no patch until tomorrow. Like, the patch notes don't come out tomorrow. The patch is delayed a day because America had Labor Day on Monday. Now, what that does actually mean, and again, apologies, but obviously there's not much I can do. I'm actually going away tomorrow on the much needed trip, holiday, whatever you want to call it. I'll tell you guys when I get back about it. I'm looking forward to it. I won't be here to do the patch notes, so apologies about that. It's the first patch we're missing in probably well over a year, maybe even two. So yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind too much. Make sure you do read the patch notes yourself, because if you don't have the video, don't get caught without knowing information that I may normally cover. So do watch that, or obviously watch maybe another content creator's video, which I normally wouldn't say, because obviously I like you guys watching my stuff, but I'm not making the video. So anyway, today we are watching, some people may recognize, this is a guy who's called Vizachachi, I think you how you pronounce it. He is a pro player, and he's playing Poppy top. Now, what we're going to ask, and it's a broad question, you can answer it if you want in the comments, if you have an opinion, is Poppy top lane secretly OP or strong? Why do I ask this? Why do I say this? Because Poppy is pretty, like you can see, she's trading really well with an early game Renekton. Her damage isn't bad. She does have damage-centric builds. If you want to build damage, you can, weirdly. She's tanky. And the bigger thing for me is I've always, when I actively play top lane, which I'm not massively this year, as you all know, but maybe, who knows, next season we might. She's pretty anti-duelists. Like, she's actually pretty good against them. She don't get me wrong, if it's a Fiora or a Jax or something in proper late game, a Poppy probably will not kill them. But look at the denial, that's insane. A Poppy won't probably kill them unless she gets ahead, but she shouldn't also die to them. And for a duelist, that is in essence beating a duelist. If you don't die to that Fiora in mid to late game, if you don't die to that Jax in mid to late game, you're in essence beating them. Like, that's their whole job, is winning and killing you in the duel. And Poppy is the ultimate. Oh, dude, that was actually really sick. Doesn't get the kill, but I like the idea. Because that is a thing to mention, is whether you watch this Poppy, obviously, or have you watched mine over the years, she's a tanky champion, but she is ridiculously aggressive. Like, that's the weird thing. Her base damage is really high, and her damage in mid to late game isn't terrible if you do buy some damage items. Like, you can technically buy a Divine Sunderer on Poppy if you want to. Most people probably won't, because again, you naturally could... I don't know, Renekton might be the odd one out. I think a Poppy could deal with a Renekton in mid to late game by building just pure tank. If she builds a Sunfire and then just builds like a Thornmail, I don't know how much a Renekton is going to be able to do, and Poppy will just slowly kill the Renekton. But she's actually not that bad. So should you be playing Poppy? The answer, I would just say straight away, is a maybe. And we'll see throughout this game. Obviously, this is a high challenger game on EU West. Let's see how the Poppy does. You know, we can kind of gauge the strength level. Renekton, I will say, I think the champion's getting another nerf. I must be missing something with this champion, and I must have missed it for most of the season, because I know he's got nerfed, and I know fundamentally he's been nerfed many times because of pro play. I'm aware of that. I even know why he's nerfed for pro play, because you coordinate him with your jungler in the early game, and it's basically impossible for you not to get fed in the early game if you coordinate the play. Meanwhile, 2v2, this is what the enemy team actually wants, by the way, because the Talon, very easy to kill, very squishy. Enemy team most likely won't continue for Poppy, because she's not the squishiest. And that was a nice little recovery kill there for the Renekton. Obviously, he is struggling. He's struggling on farm. Obviously, a lot of that farm difference is literally in front of the tower right now, so if he can get a lot of that, he might be okay. But yeah, I must have missed something with Renekton, because I know why he got nerfed. I know the pro play strength, but then people kept telling me, even Shmeon, my Clash top laner, even he's like, no, Renekton's good. You know, I play Renekton in solo queue and I do well. I don't see it. Like, I genuinely don't. I like Renekton as a champion. Like, it's not like I don't like the champion. I do. I used to play Renekton, for God's sake. It's just, I just don't see the strength level that other people do, I guess. You have to get ahead on him, otherwise you're probably going to not be great. And yeah, he can still be a pretty decent distraction mid to late game. He's a big giant crocodile that you don't want to ignore, even though it is kind of the premise of reality versus visual, is you could have a 0 and 10 Renekton in mid to late game, but in a team fight, I guarantee the AD carry is probably going to focus a massive big crocodile that's glowing and angry and all that, because he looks scary. It's the impression that he looks scary. So anyway, Twisted Fate going for his first ulti. Renekton with a nice Q there. Twisted Fate is dead. Does get the recovery, but that's a double kill for the Renekton. So that is actually really good for the Renekton. He's not recovered his farm per se, but his farm's not atrocious, and he's now 3 and 1. So if you actually look into the gold, he is ahead of the Poppy by a decent margin. So I don't know why. Well, why are the enemy team doing so much focus on the Renekton? It's the kind of the exact same thing of what we've spoken about, of how we made that video a week or two ago of how do you play Renekton in high rating, or how do you play Renekton solo queue, and we said, you know, you want that jungle coordination and you get that Renekton ahead in the early game. Well, on the same flip of the coin is the opposite. How do you make a Renekton practically useless is you focus it early. But obviously the risk in that is his strength. His strength is his early game, and you're actively going to be fighting him in when he is strong. So this is a game so far, good example. Poppy's been doing well. She's had lane advantage for most of lane, but because of the hyper aggression that they're doing to try and tone down the Renekton, they're getting punished because of it. Now, don't get me wrong, the Poppy is still trading well with the Renekton. He's got big power spike, pickaxe is a huge AD item in the early game, and Poppy just has tier 2 boots. That's it. It's pickaxe, longsword, even, you know, a cloth armor for the Renekton himself. Poppy has tier 2 boots, and she will probably still do well with trading a Renekton. So Talon once again goes through a weird funky invade, gets himself killed. This is seemingly to be, it's becoming a pattern. Nice gold card into the Poppy damage, into the passive, and that was really nice. Sejuani support, by the way, on the enemy team. Don't know if there's anything major on here. Wukong is in the area, jumps over the wall with his W, and the escape will most likely be made. The Poppy might try to run this down. She does have flash available in 5 seconds. Passive into the E. Bad position by the Wukong. Into the kill for the Poppy. Yeah, very odd position by the Wukong. Don't position yourself to let a Poppy do whatever she wants with the E. And it's worth knowing her mana is struggling right now, but she just got a red buff. That's really good for a Poppy. All right, so Sejuani trying to what she can. Oh, again, does get the kill, but the Poppy does the double damage with Q. Is going to survive. Oh, the Sejuani autoed the wrong thing because she lost vision. The Poppy does flash, and they do end up escaping with their lives. Akali now top lane. I think Poppy is time to say goodbye. I'm accepting a death. So she goes for a tower plate with Demolish, and she's going to try her best to walk into the tower to deny the Akali. Just keep running. And the Poppy and the Akali does it, sorry. So the Akali did ignite there because I think the Akali thought that her Q wasn't going to reach. But yeah, so absolutely crazy fights, high tempo game. Renekton has, by the way, now recovered his farm, so they are now back to being even as long as this is correct, which I believe it is. Let's do that and that. Yes, it is. So the Poppy is hyper aggressive, and you would normally not put or equate, you know, Poppy's fighting so much that she's not farming that much in the early game, but that is kind of what Poppy does. It's weird, but it's true. A lane swap might be happening, which I don't know if this lane swap is going to stay, but it's, you know, it's not the bad thing to do. So Akali pushed the wave into mid lane, then she's going to go base. Well, if Renekton just ran to top lane, he's not getting any farm, so he's going to go mid lane to get a wave or two before he eventually goes probably back to top lane when Poppy pushes it out. So that is like times of when you as a solo laner, you can swap around a little bit. It's to do with gold, and there you can see Renekton is on his way back top lane because the wave is now not under tower, so he actually can do a bit of farming. So it all makes sense. Poppy, arguably, there was a moment of push this quick, get Renekton back to top lane, and now you'll notice she slowed it down to guarantee that Renekton is back in top lane. She might even, now that she had vision of Renekton here, yeah, so now that she saw he's back top lane, I'll push again. Right, so not surprising, Blade the Ruined King. Obviously, I don't know the patch notes. Yes, there is a patch preview that you can see like a week before the patch comes out. I typically don't look at them. Look at the poppy damage, by the way. Absolutely out-traded. I don't know the patch. I do actually get them sent early, but I don't like to look at them. I like to do the live reaction with the patch notes, so I don't know what's in this upcoming patch. I hope Blade the Ruined King is nerfed. That's my only hope. That item has been so strong for a while. It has, and the best way that I can describe what's wrong with Blade the Ruined King, it has the strength of a mythic item, not as a mythic item. You know, it's not a mythic, it's a legendary. And there's so many champions, you're literally watching one of them against us, Renekton. He is building bulk before a mythic. And he is not the only champion that does that. Majority of these crazy champions that use bulk buy it first because it's so strong. That's the thing, it is really strong. So Renekton lurking in the bush, doing a Garen, trying to stop the Poppy from basing or looking for an engage. Poppy is not shying away though. Renekton does have a bit of XP advantage, it is worth saying. Poppy's halfway, you can see in the bottom left here, that's the XP bar. So even this whole minion wave, I don't think she's going to be level 9. So she is a good few minions behind the Renekton in pure XP. Yeah, she is, well. Alright, so I don't know what the hell's going on in bot lane, by the way. Double kill. Set now. It's set bot lane, by the way. Wow, very little damage by that set. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. Sejuani support's a bit weird. Set as the carry in bot lane is a bit weird. Who knows? Again, Challenger is also a weird rank because solo queue in itself is weird. So, yeah. So, Renekton, again, looking at that minimap, Twisted Fate may have been thinking about going for an ulti. If, you know, the Renekton is now kind of constantly pushing, but I think he's pushing to go back by an upgrade. I don't think he's got Blade the Ruined King yet, but he might not be too far. Oh no, he's got it. He's got bulk, so that's a good base. You did just notice, by the way, Sejuani pinged. She pinged top. Now, obviously, we see that because it's a replay, but Poppy doesn't know. Would I expect a Sejuani to go top lane right now? Not really, not as a support in bot lane, but does it make sense? Well, if you love roaming, I guess it may do. Why? Because of power spikes. Renekton has just hit Blade the Ruined King. Poppy has yet to have a mythic. This is an open opportunity for a kill because of the bulk strength. Teleport to mid lane does the Poppy because Akali's looking for a flank. Twisted Fate goes down. Don't think anything major is going to come of it. Akali's very low. Wukong is ulting. Talon is just auto-attacking the Sejuani. She will go down. Poppy takes the kill. Talon jumps over the wall, continuing his damage, and he will pick up the Wukong. Overall, not too bad. Again, that teleport by Poppy. Sometimes you could say, like so many people, and, you know, you would be kind of correct. Oh, she KS'd that kill from Talon. Yeah, she did. But she also did use a big teleport to do something in that play. And I know it doesn't sound, you know, it's not the best thing to say, but you want to make your teleport worth something. And if it means I'm going to take that one kill because I use my teleport, you can kind of understand it. At least, you know, you're gaining gold. Renekton is gaining gold, obviously, by being left alone. And, you know, if Poppy TP'd there, wasn't greedy, didn't go for that kill, when then suddenly she did nothing in that whole fight, didn't gain any gold, and Renekton's laughing in top lane. Look at the farm lead. It's building for Renekton right now. Poppy flat. Ooh, I like that. Can she go for the kill? I don't think so, but she did just save her allies, or at least set from the Kali. Tower's going down, so Poppy does share in that gold, which isn't too bad. But Renekton, I think, got the tower. I don't know who got the tower first. It was very close, actually. So Poppy's going to stick around. You know, why not go back? Get extra farm where you can, as we've always said. Twisted Fate is taking top lane, so it's not like Poppy can just return there and get farm instantly. So may as well take an extra wave. She might even cancel this base and get another wave. Most likely not, because she probably has a mythic now. And there you go, Sunfire complete. So Wukong now in the jungle of the allies. Trying to steal a blue buff, which is a little bit high, like aggro. I don't know if, you know, I would go for that. Well, definitely not given the number advantage that blue team had at the time. Anything else worth knowing? Twisted Fate has actually gone for Leandry. Interesting. Is a bit surprising, I would say, for a Twisted Fate. Maybe not to go Everfrost against Akali. I don't know. Because I get that his Q poke, and I played Twisted Fate recently, his damage actually is pretty good. So I get why he'd want that, but at the same part, I don't know if he'd be able to survive. without Everfrost, or just that lockdown, or hell, even I wouldn't really buy it. I don't think the item's very good. Meanwhile, fighting the Wukong now doesn't do any damage, but he will take the Scuttle. Renekton popping over the wall. And yes, you are seeing, by the way, the Renekton is building the tank item as well for his mythic, because that's the standard build. It's what we've said for ages. Why can Yone do this build? Why can Master Yi do this build? Why can all these champions do Blade the Ruined King and then into Sunfire? It's not the fact that Sunfire is too strong, and yes, that's the item they nerfed. It's the fact that base damage is still very high. We've said that for ages. But Blade of the Ruined King is the problem. You know, as I said, you're getting a mythic power item, not as a mythic. So in reality, your Blade, you're kind of getting two mythics. You're getting Blade of the Ruined King, and you're getting the tankiness and survivability of a Sunfire. So that's why that build is existing. It's why so many champions are doing it still. Even though Sunfire got nerfed, because it's nothing to do with the damage that Sunfire was dealing. It's even why Diana was doing Sunfire, and I think kind of still does some of them, is because it wasn't to do with the damage that Sunfire was outputting. They do enough damage with other items. So Dragon is being done. Can Poppy get a really nice ulti here? This is it. Ooh, misses the Wukong but gets the Renekton. Is going for that engage though. Wukong bad flash will end up dead to the Talon dot, I'd imagine. Dragon has been now taken. Renekton going for the re-engage. Akali also in the area. Focusing the set. Good stun by the Poppy. Nice angle there. Lulu takes the kill. Akali gets stunned by the gold card. Is going as best she can. One of the biggest counters to any type of champion like Akali is Lulu, because you just W-click polymorph and they can't do anything. So another kill there on Tristana. Not really sure what she was trying to do. And I will say, I'm weirdly surprised how well Blue Team's bot lane has done. Set Lulu doesn't seem exactly a strong lane to me. And in my mind, I'd imagine that Tristana would have had pretty much a free lane. But maybe the negative, obviously, for the Tristana is that she's matched with a Sejuani support that's building AP. So it's not really a typical support. If she had a typical support, maybe she'd be absolutely golden and be completely fine. But she's got a Sedge. So maybe that's what's happened to the Trist, because I don't really see how they'd get on top of the Tristana, how she'd get engaged on. Yeah, sure, maybe a flash all in by a set. And that's maybe where having a Sedge isn't going to be the best. If there was, like, in my mind, if Tristana had a Zillion, the set would be able to do nothing, because engages, even with a flash, Zillion could even easily get a double bomb stun. And then at the worst case, when you're all at level 6, well, you're getting all in Tristana. Cool, I'll have my ult. And then you ult, you reset, and then you can just jump away or ult the set away. So, like, yeah, Zillion would be an absolute beast for this Tristana. So, side laning shenanigans now both for Poppy and Renekton. Poppy is trying to steal the Krug, or Gromp, whatever it is, Gromp, yeah, from the Renekton. Isn't going to happen. Blade the Ruined King proc does slow the Poppy. So yeah, the pork damage is impressive. Don't know if the Poppy can right now out-survive a Blade the Ruined King Renekton. She has to be careful at least. And she will be okay. But obviously one of the advantages Renekton will have naturally is his kit, his Q has sustain. And then Blade the Ruined King has lifesteal. So even if these trades go neutral for Renekton, relatively even, he will be able to, in theory, stick around a little bit more. Which is why I actually have a sneaking suspicion. I don't 100% know, but I think the Poppy's building Warmogs as her second item. Now, that does seem weird, and I'm surprised a Bramble or something's not in there. I guess anti-healing really does sod all nowadays because of what Riot's done. Maybe it's not even worth buying. So what I think Poppy's doing is, instead of buying anti-heal, she's technically buying a form of healing for herself. So Renekton going for the all-in. Did get distracted by Poppy passive, so I think he could have done even better if he just stuck on the Poppy there. But obviously it is a hard decision to make. But yeah, that's what I think Poppy's doing. I think Poppy's going, well, right now we do a relatively crazy trade, all in. I'm now low, you're kind of low too, but if I have Warmogs, in theory I will regen quicker than you. Now a big fight is happening. Renekton, bit weird, has to be said, he does teleport in when he's basically dead. That was bizarre. Talon and all-ins are not in a very well-placed time there. Poppy is in the area, does teleport also. Tristana's getting some free hits in. There's still a top lane tower, by the way. Gold card by Twisted Fate. Killing spree for the Poppy. Yes, the Warmogs has been complete, and this is literally what we're talking about. Big fight, crazy fight. We're low health, And now look at Poppy's health. Look at the regen. So Poppy doesn't have the trading regeneration that Renekton has. She has something. Oh, this is a sloppy base from Trist. Oh, you still see sloppy bases in Challenger. Ouch. So yeah, Poppy's full health after a crazy fight. And the enemy team have just surrendered. So again, bit of a quick replay because obviously I'm a little bit caught short of, I don't have many hours until I'm going. So I'm going to try and get this made, get it all done for today's second video. But again, apologies, no patch notes. But as for the question about Poppy, I truly think that she should be more popular than she currently is. Just to put that in perspective, yes, she's good against Renekton. She's good against Jax. She's good against Fiora. She's not bad against Camille. Because she can ult the Camille out of Camille ult and then run away. She's good against a lot of the current top lane meta. She's actually even not bad against tanks. Because if memory serves correct, her Q... 8% max health physical damage. Like, it's not bad. Like, her damage isn't too bad, and this is the pure tank variant. If you're feeling a little bit spicy, if you get that early lead, you can go divine and then go tanky. But Sunfire, you know, Sunfire, Warmogs, Thornmail, all that, they're good items also. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Thank you guys so much, as always, for the ongoing support. I truly do mean that. Thank you guys. It means the world. If you do want to help me out as a content creator, just throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime.